this afternoon to speak about the role of the judiciary in the implementation of sustainable development goals. This is a keynote address by the Honorable Chief Justice, so it's not me. I'm only speaking on behalf of the Honorable Chief Justice of Uganda. So my issues are quite big. So let me go straight into the paper, and I do hope that I send a message across. The Honorable Minister of General Duties, Honorable Kasule Lumumba, the Honorable Minister of State for Finance, Honorable Lugolobi, Honorable Members of Parliament and past Members of Parliament here present, the Chairperson of the National Planning Authority, the heads of ministries, departments and agencies, representatives of the private sector, representatives of civil society organizations, representatives of academia, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. I wish to thank the organizers for considering the judiciary as a key stakeholder in the implementation of sustainable development goals in Uganda. The review on the implementation of SDGs is a good practice because it allows the sharing of experiences as well as sharing of limitations to the implementation of the SDGs. We are therefore glad to be part of this conference. SDGs, and specifically Goal 16, calls upon the judiciary to promote peaceful and inclusive societies for sustainable development, provide access to justice for all, and build effective, accountable, and inclusive institutions at all levels. Interventions to achieve SDG 16 also significantly contribute to the achievement of other SDGs on gender equality, decent work and economic development, climate action, water and sanitation, accountability and transparency, partnerships, and institutional strengthening, among others. The Administration of Justice Program under the National Development Plan, the NDP III, has provided a framework to plan for the implementation of the SDGs. The program brings together institutions in the justice chain. The judiciary's role in the implementation of sustainable goals is as follows. 1, promotion of rule of law and ensuring equitable access to justice. The judiciary, being the custodian of justice in Uganda, as mandated by the Constitution, is focused towards the elimination of barriers that hinder access to justice by ensuring proximity to courts, simplifying court procedures for court users, eliminating barriers to access of judicial services faced by different categories of people, including people with disabilities, children, women, and other marginalized groups. This has been achieved by improving physical and functional access to judicial services. The judiciary of Uganda has 429 gazetted courts, 251 of which are operational. In a move to improve access to justice, the judiciary has decentralized and increased coverage of courts across the country. There are currently 7 High Court divisions, 20 High Court circuits, 82 Chief Magistrate courts, and 140 Grade 1 courts that are operational. The judiciary has focused its efforts to operationalizing courts in hard-to-reach areas such as islands and remote areas. For the first time, Karamoja has a high court sitting in Moroto. And there is, yes, if you've been to Karamoja, you know that's a hard-to-reach area. And there is a magistrates court in Buvuma Island. It is headed by a magistrate of the first grade. We call them grade 1 magistrates. Currently, the coverage of courts across the country is at 70%. And the plan is to increase this coverage to 80% by financial year 2024-2025. The Judiciary plans to establish regional courts of appeal in Mbarara and Gulu, and to operationalize grade 1 magistrate courts at every constituency, and to have a chief magistrate at every district. Other access to interventions that have been implemented include rehabilitation of courts to cater for litigants with special needs, promotion of mobile courts in refugee camps and hosting districts. So far, criminal mobile court sessions are being held in the refugee settlement camps of Changwali, Ramanja, Bidi, Imvepi, Kibiandongo, Nakivale Rhino Camp, Omugo, Alere, and Chakatu. Automation of court processes. As part of building effective and efficient delivery of justice, several automation interventions have been undertaken. The Judiciary has rolled out the Electronic Court Case Management Information System, the ICMIS, a fully featured system that automates and tracks all aspects of a case file, from initial filing through disposition and appeals to each individual party for any case type. The Judiciary started implementing ICMIS in March 2022 in 8 courts, and plans are underway to roll out ICMIS to more courts across the country. Promotion of remote online adjudication of cases. The Judiciary has exploited processes for remote online adjudication of cases from COVID-19 lessons. Video conferencing technologies, facilities have been installed in courts, and this allows prisoners and witnesses to attend courts without physically being present in the courtroom. Promotion of alternative dispute resolution. The Judiciary has continued to implement interventions that enhance quick resolution of disputes to ensure timely delivery of justice. ADR mechanisms such as court-annexed mediation, plea bargaining, and small claims procedures are good alternatives to the prolonged litigation process. For example, on average in a year, 2,500 cases are mediated. 1,500 cases are completed through plea bargaining. In financial year 2021-22, small claims procedure unlocked a total value of Uganda shillings 14 billion that was reinvested back into the economy. Management of special category of cases. Sexual and gender-based violence cases. The COVID-19 pandemic brought in high numbers of SGBV cases to be handled, such as rape, defilement, murder, unnatural offenses, indecent assault, domestic violence, child neglect, among others. The Judiciary intensified holding of sexual and gender-based violence special criminal sessions in areas with high rates of SGBV, for example, in Tororo, Kamwenge, Kamuli, Kayunga, Kader, Mbarara, and Navy. The judiciary continues to implement other mechanisms such as child-friendly procedures, community service, day-to-day hearing of criminal cases in the High Court, which have promoted access to justice for all. Utilities, wildlife, and climate change related cases. In order to further align to and strengthen SDG implementation in areas of climate change, conservation of natural resources, wildlife, and utilities, the judiciary in 2017 launched a specialized court to deal with prosecution of offenders involved in stealing of utilities like power lines, water vandalism, dealing in fake goods, killing of and mining of wildlife, among others. On average, 200 cases are handled in a year. International crimes. The International Crimes Division of the High Court was set up as a specialized court to handle international crimes such as terrorism and related offenses, human trafficking, and cases under the Rome Statute. Commercial and land cases. The judiciary plays a crucial role in economic development through the management of commercial disputes to unlock capital for investment and also disputes over factors of production such as land. Creation of awareness and promotion of advocacy. The judiciary has a 24/7 operational call center. Its toll-free number 0800 111 900. Toll-free number 0800 111 900. The judiciary also has a client charter, a customer care service at the courts. Through several awareness interventions such as radio, talk shows, holding court open days, in collaboration with other justice actors such as the prisons, the police, the ODPP, which is the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, and other non-state actors. Court users and communities have been empowered with information and knowledge on how to access judicial services. Capacity and skills development to address emerging justice needs at all court levels. The judiciary builds the capacity of its judicial officers to equip them with emerging developments in national, regional, and international law, including in conventions in all other relevant legal and human rights aspects. To date, a series of trainings have been conducted in areas of training in urban refugee rights and protection, human rights and land rights, rights of minorities and indigenous persons of Uganda, management of SGBV cases, administration of juvenile justice, management of wildlife crime, climate justice, cyber crime, new procurement laws, and recent developments in revenue law. Reform of laws and procedure to strengthen administration of justice. In order to eliminate non-discriminatory laws and procedures in service delivery, demystify justice centers, and make courts more accessible, Judiciary has enacted a number of rules to streamline court procedures and processes. By June 2022, the following rules were successfully gazetted and are now operational. They include the Judicature Legal Representation at the Expense of the State Rules 2022, the Constitution Bail Guidelines for the Courts of Judicature Practice Direction 2022. The new reforms currently being worked on include the Magistrates Courts, Magisterial Areas and Magistrates Courts Instrument 2023 that seeks to expand the coverage of magisterial areas and to further bring services closer to the people. The Constitution Establishment of Environment, Climate Change, Wildlife and Infrastructure Division Practice Direction 2023 to strengthen adjudication of utilities, wildlife, and climate-related cases. Promotion of accountability and transparency. The Judiciary Administration established the Anti-Corruption Division of the High Court as a specialized division to adjudicate corruption and corruption-related offenses. Partnerships and collaborations for sustainable development. In broadening and strengthening and deepening the participation of the judiciary in global governance, the judiciary has had several partnerships with development partners such as the European Union, UN Women, UNDP, World Bank, UNFPA, UNODC, IDLO, which is IDLO, UNICEF, Australia Development Corporation. In addition, the judiciary has membership with the South African Chief Justices Forum, the World Conference of Constitutional Justice, the Commonwealth Association of Women, the Commonwealth Association of Judges and Magistrates, the International Association of Women Judges, the International Association of Women Judges Africa Region, and the East Africa Magistrates and Judges Association. Limitation to the implementation of SGD. There are several limitations, and the key ones are a limitation in the legal framework, such as lack of a witness protection law. Witnesses are afraid of testifying for fear of reprisal from the accused or their community members. This, in turn, hinders access to justice. It hinders fair trial and accountability for human rights violations and leads to impunity. Transnational organized crime is posing a significant threat to human security both in Uganda and beyond Uganda. In addition, we are not well equipped to tackle the complexities of cross-border crime. To effectively meet this challenge, cooperation between countries of transit, origin, and destination throughout the region is vital. The cultural setting is, in a way, one that makes cases against children and other SGBV go unreported, limiting access to justice for the vulnerable. Children's justice has been affected by the inadequate number of remand homes in the country, and Uganda has only 4 remand homes, which limits the provision of juvenile justice. The slow acceptance of e-justice, especially by private lawyers. The rollout of ICMIS has faced resistance from advocates, and that has limited its use. These are our recommendations. Implementation of SDGs requires a 360-degree approach. There is therefore need to, 1, strengthen stakeholder engagements and partnerships in implementing SDGs. Need for mapping and concerted effort to support a complete administration of justice chain, the new programmatic approach. 3, expand remand homes coverage across the country for better handling of juvenile cases and diversion of juveniles from traditional detention centers. 4, increase impactful partnerships with non-state actors and development partners to create awareness on GBV cases. And Roman 5, the judiciary requires support to strengthen the International Crimes Division due to the nature and complexity of the cases handled. And Roman 6, the judiciary requires support to establish a specialized High Court division to deal with the increasing number of climate change and environmental related cases. As I conclude, I wish to remind us and note that a just society is a prerequisite for attainment of all the SDGs through attraction and strengthening of global partnerships for sustainable development, creation of opportunities for investment in industries, agriculture, education, health, and other social services. Hence, creation of jobs, reduction of poverty, and improvement of quality of life, and a prosperous nation. For God and my country,